Okay, we are live. I know this is a late stream, but I just got done with everything and this was the only time I had. So I was like, let me gather my thoughts and let me just do this stream because it's super important. Oh my God. So I have been watching people online and I have been noticing a lot of them have like a lot of trauma based upon colorism, being dark skin, brown skin. So a whole lot of stuff going on. And what really triggered this conversation was I don't know if you guys seen her, but the dark skinned activist, and she just be going in. I'm gonna just say that. And to me, it's like, I could understand, I could support her with her, dark skinned activist, support dark skinned women, I fall in that category. But like some of the things she be saying is just a little bit overbearing, and so that's why we better get into this because it's an important topic, and I think it's really important. So with that being said, I'm gonna drop the intro, and then I'm gonna say a poem. So you guys stick with me. This will be a very interesting show today or theme. Okay, we are back. So I'm gonna get into this poem. So the poem is called "On Being Dark Skin." So this is a really good poem, and it kind of shows the struggles, as you grow up, and the things that I wouldn't say just dark skinned people, but just people in general, like the fears that they go through, the challenges, the demons. It just shows you how these negative thoughts and how everything, comes into action and where did it all first stem from. So the poem is called On Being Dark Skin and is by Basarit A.O. And I put it in my description so you guys can go to that page. And the website is colorismhealing.com. And this was a poetry contest. And they got second place. So if you guys like poetry and you guys like spoken word, some people call it spit, this is for y'all. I was 7 and I was told I couldn't go out to play. My skin was already too dark and my hair too kinky to contain. I tried scrubbing it off. I tried covering it up. I tried praying to God, but nothing worked. I was 10 and I was taught that I was ugly, disgusting, the big black beast in the mirror. I knew it. They knew it. I didn't need the scrawny boys telling me I was unlovable, that I should go back to Africa. I didn't need to be assured of my complexion, that I was black, I was purple. I didn't need any more reason to hate myself because no one could hate me more than I did. I was 14 and I knew I was pretty. For a dark-skinned girl, I hope that my non-existent curves and my prepubescent breast would distract from my dark face. I knew every light-skinned girl had to have a dark-skinned friend to make her shine a little brighter. Yet all this time, I never knew I was a victim, a casualty Collateral damage. You see, I thought it was racism. Institutionalized ugly and coming from all sides. The stereotypes and the jokes. I thought we were together against a common enemy. I thought we were rising up against a man. I thought we were united front. I thought we were a united front, divided front, because I never knew that my own people, my own family were against me. People think being dark skinned is so bad. Like the tone of your happiness will be set with your skin color, like your beauty is ranked by a certain amount of melanin, like finding someone to love is impossible because you so happen to have only X skin. I'm 17 and I know I am beautiful. At least I think I know. I hate to remind myself of before, the jokes, the skin lightening, the depreciation, but I have to so I can remember how painful it was, how internalized colorism ruined my self-worth, depleted my self-esteem, and led to self-hatred. I thought my night skin was my one flaw, and my nappy hair and afros, and my black features. My nose is round and wide. I didn't like much about myself, actually. So a few times I thought, maybe if you were a little lighter, you'll be desirable. You will be beautiful. You would be happy. I was wrong. If my skin was a little lighter, I would be discriminated against. I would still be discriminated against. If my curls was a little looser, I would still be ashamed of my natural blackness. It's a double-edged sword. And I'm happy to be on my dark end. This kinky, coily, curly hair goes back generations. The zigzag patterns with twists and turns, my ancestors breaking their backs for me. This skin, my radiant melanin, what would I do without it? Cover and protection, it shines with strength and beauty. It says, I'm black and I'm proud. No, that's me saying Black women are beautiful. Black women are enough. Black women are making strides. Ionic, proud, timeless. My skin represents years of oppression and a future of freedom. Who could cover up such a blessing? How can you pray it away? In what ways is it ugly for any girl? Dark skin, brown skin, light skin. I love my skin. Oh, that was powerful. And this was by the author, by Sarit O. So her nickname is Bazzy. She was born on March 31st, 1999 in Detroit and raised there as well, in an inner city girl. A little bit about her. She had a turning point and her parents were divorced when she was 8 years old, and she lived with her mom. She always emphasized education, not prestige on winning much, and doing absolute best working. So yeah, that was a great poem by her. Beautiful. Oh, I look like a school teacher. Yeah, so today was a long day for me. I did work today. But now we're talking about this. So I did my poem. All right, so let's get into colorism. So that poem kind of like, that poem nailed everything and what I wanted to say, but we just got to break it down just a little bit more. Okay, so, as you're growing up, especially being Black, and depending on what family you were raised in. So my family were West Indian, so they grew up being Black. When they were growing up, right, they were bullied by their friends, family, associates. Everybody bullied them for their skin tone. And I'm not, people say Black, but I mean like, they were like crispy burnt Black. Like, yeah. They used to get made fun of. People used to make fun of them, call them Blackie, and say that only thing that they could see is their eyes and their teeth. Like, it was really, really bad. But like, if you're in the islands, you're always in the hot sun, you're walking to and from school. So everybody is Black, Anyway, so as for being brought up, what people are telling us, like, we're dark skinned, we're like, you so dark, and like, why you look like this? And people, like, kids could be very, very cruel, and they can make a lot of jokes. And being like 8 years old, or being like 5 and going to school and hearing those things, and especially as a woman, that will rip your self-esteem up. Because as a woman, we get criticized based on our looks. Like, every day we're being reminded that we have to look a certain way, we have to be a certain aesthetic, and yeah, we're just being judged based on our looks all the time, like, based on the way we are looked. And even if you ask men today and you ask them what they look for in a partner, the first thing they go to and they say is, I need to find her attractive, right? So a lot of women find a value on being attractive to the opposite sex. And even as little girls, as sad as it says, like, that's what they were brought up, and that's what their values were, was, are they attractive to the opposite sex? Do people find them attractive? Are they pretty? Right? Nobody told them that they should have not seek outside validation, and they themselves bring more to the table. But let's just get into it. So as we're growing up, our subconscious mind is being reconditioned. Because when we're little kids, we don't care about those things. We're running around, we're playing. We are like our best selves. We are like our full soul. Like, we're happy. Like, I remember when my son was like 1, 2, 3, even all the way up to age like 4 or 5, he was like the happiest child ever. Like, he was so happy. He would always smile. He would be so like happy to go to the beach, to run outside. You give him an apple, he's happy. Like you, like, it would be really hard to make that little boy cry. And anybody who made that little boy cry, like, people would get on you about that. Like, even I would, my mother would. Like, my son, you can say he was spoiled, but he, for the most part, he was always happy. Like, to take happiness away from a little child, like, you got to be the devil or the demon, or something is like really wrong with you. So yeah, so back to that, right? So we're like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, right? Our subconscious mind is being reconditioned, right? We're being reconditioned, and we're being unconsciously told that we are not good enough, right? We're learning to seek validation from other people. Like, we're looking for our friends to tell us we're good enough. They want to be our friend. We're looking for all of these things that are outside of ourselves. Right? So we're learning we're not good enough. You start to learn that you're not pretty. You start to think that something is wrong with you, right? Why are you different? Like, why are they making fun of me? Why are they making me feel this way? And then we begin to hate ourselves, right? Just imagine you go to school, you hearing people saying that you're not good enough. like why you look like this, like you're skinny. It could be anything, and we can't just base it on colorism, because you could even base this on just people saying things to knock your self-esteem down. People are picking at you, right? All right, so we begin to hate ourselves. We hate our skin complexion. That's the worst. Is like when you come into this world, like this is who you are, the complexion you are, that's just you, right? And then we begin to see confirmation bias. And I want people to understand that, and that's a real thing. And this is what's plaguing our communities today now. Is the things that we tell our children, and they go outside the house and then they do confirmation bias. So let's give an example, right? We tell our children like money don't grow on trees, like you can't get this, or we say a lot of like things to our children, and then we go outside, and our confirmation bias is gonna have to make us see it. So our subconscious mind and our beliefs can coincide, and we have to see what we believe in. We have to see what we're being told, because that's what we believe in. So if you're being told that, I'm just giving an example, right? If you're being told that, right, like black women, they got loud mouths. They wear like different color weaves. They wear these long eyelashes. They dress outlandish. They show their butt. We sexualize them, right? We say they got big behinds. They got big breasts. We say like all these things, and then when we go outside, because somebody told us these things, or we've been saying these things, we go outside and we confirm it based on our reality. And just think about, if everybody is doing that, then everybody is seeking that confirmation bias. And it gets to a point where it becomes true. It becomes true to you. Okay, and what is this? This is like spells being casted. Yes, we can cast spells on our own selves based on what we believe in and the things that we say. Right? So we are being casted. And I just want to let people know that these people that are doing these things to you and saying these things to you, breaking down your self-esteem, this is all works from, you can say the devil, you can say from your demons. This is all works from other sources too. You can say that too. They make sure they beat you down when you're so young. They beat you down so bad, right? Because it's going to take so much power just to raise yourself back up. You think that people who are accomplishing really big things, you think that they could do that from a broken spirit, from a broken mindset? No, they can't. So that's why a lot of us, right, they break us down so bad in childhood, so that when we grow up, it makes it 10 times harder for us to succeed in life, relationships, and things that we want to do. And this too is like a spell. And this too is like a generational curse that can be broken. But just in unite, they break us down so bad. They make us feel so bad, and they make us addicted to these feelings, right? To the point where, like, sometimes we don't know what to do. We're stuck in this dark space, and then we have to crawl our way out of it. And being from the ages of like 5 all the way to age 15, 16, you're stuck in that loop. That's like about like 10 to 12 years of conditioning you to feel bad, to feel that you are less than, you're not worthy, you're not good enough. And it conditions your mind so that you're addicted to those feelings. And now you got to figure out, now you're 17, 18 years old, and you have to go out into the world. with those type of feelings. You're bound to fail if you don't do like self-healing or self-work. You're bound to fail, give up on yourself. You're bound to fall back into that victim space. You're bound to fall back into that darkness. You're bound to fall back into that familiar feeling. And that's why this is so important, because people will knowingly take your power away from you, knowing you know how to take your power back, but you don't know that you could do that. They will take your power away from you, and you think you don't have any power, but you're the one. You're the one allowing those people to take your power away. All right. So then we just talked about all of that. So now here is some story times, right? So even though I say that, you know, you got to back it up with some story times, right? So I remember when I was growing up, right? Like the colorism issue was so rampant and so bad that when I grew up in the 90s in like New York City, like I remember like my aunts, even my mother, like they will go and buy that African soap where you can put it on your skin and it bleaches your skin. And because they wanted to look lighter, they wanted to look brown skin, because all like the reggae artists and all of them, they all was talking about brown skin, and they all was talking about the paper bag, and a lot of them was trying to achieve that because they were dark, like super dark, and like people would judge them, like, you know, like being dark and then being from another country, and like your subconscious mind telling you you're not good enough. You're trying to look for different ways on trying to feel that you are worthy. So it got so desperate that they will go buy the African soap, the African cream. And you can say Vibes Cartel call it cake soap. But they will go and they will buy it, like soap, anything, to take away their skin tone so that they could go out into the world and they could achieve the things that they want to achieve. So they felt like their skin tone was holding them back. And I remember them, they would go and get that cream and they go put it on their skin. My aunt will burn her skin, like she would have like red marks, and she would get so light that she would look like a white lady, and she didn't care. And I would just be like, oh my God. And it got so bad. I remember when my sister was born, like my sister was dark when she was born too. So they will go and they will take that cream and they will go put it on the baby's face. A baby. Imagine a baby, a 1 month-old. They will take that soap, not that soap, but they'll take the cream. I forgot what it's called, but it's in like a small bottle. You guys probably know of it, but it's this cream, and you have to put it in the fridge, and you'll take a little bit. But they put it on the baby's face because they was like, that's how much they hated dark skin. Like, that's how much they hated the skin color, because it reminded them of poverty. It reminded them of their childhood. It reminded them of like hearing those things and being called blackie and all of that. Like, that's how bad it got. Like, and not on top of that, that's just one way how that could impact you. The next way how that impacts you is now you begin to hate where you came from. So now you begin to hate the men you came from. Now you begin to hate the woman. So what do? You date outside your race, right? And then you date outside your race, and then you believe all these magical fairy tales about these people who are not black, they white, Puerto Rican, whatever. They're just, let's just say that they're just not black. They don't come from where you came from. And you're just looking for this fairy tale because you're looking for somebody to accept you when all you had to do was accept yourself. And I've seen this growing up. I've seen my aunts and all of them, they would go date white men, and then when they went through a phase of that, but it never lasted. It never lasted. Like, but they would, I would say like they would get spoiled. Like these men will take them out, give them money, but they still weren't satisfied because they wanted somebody who understood their struggle. They wanted somebody who they can have chemistry with. They wanted somebody who they could feel comfortable with. They wanted somebody who was able to open up with them. So a lot of them, they went back and they dated black men afterwards. So that's one way that could happen. All right, now let's fast forward. What else can go wrong when we're dealing with colorism? So a lot of people, they go, right, they have their interracial relationships, right? And then they produce children, right? And what happens is those children turn around and they receive the same backlash of not being accepted from the parents. The parents didn't feel accepted or whatever. So then they turn around and they throw it on their children that they had interracial relationships with. And those children are mixed. So now you turned around and then that same self-hate that you carry, you turn it around and you put it on your children. And then you make your children feel like they're not accepted. And this is a cycle that continuously happens. Why? Because we are learning not to love ourselves. Okay, and what else? What can come from this? It is so important to heal. It is so important to change your beliefs. You guys would not understand. It's so important. Once you heal and you change your beliefs and you know what you're worthy of, you will not stand for bull. You can see somebody who is broken from a mile away, and you can see that they're stuck in this, right? And a lot of people make messages. A lot of people make YouTube channels with this broken mindset. A lot of people make like hate channels. They do it because they're coming from a broken place. And it is what it is. The people can say, no, it's the truth. No, it's not. It's from a broken place. Because when you were a child and when you were a baby, you was happy and you accepted everybody and you was loved and people loved you. What happened was the people who were around you, they did not show you that, and you have been reconditioned to believe those things. So yeah, those are the 3 ways that colorism affects you. So how do we get away? But now let's think about the positives, because we said all these negative things, right? What about the positives? So in today's 21st century, we're in what? 2024, right? And today, 2024, we are now seeing people are making money from being different. People are making money from embracing the things that they had to struggle with growing up. People are making money from being dark-skinned, from being themselves, from loving themselves online. People are making money from not shaving. People are making money from living their best life, from living their truth. People are making money just from loving themselves. And now we seeing from today, right? As we begin to love ourselves, we hold up a mirror, and then people begin to love us too, right? So when you begin to love yourself, right, you will see more people will gravitate towards you, and more people will be accepting towards you. More people will like you from different races, different ethnicities, all of that. You will become normal. You will become prized because you're holding a vibration that you love yourself, and you don't care what other people do. You don't care what other people think. You're in the space of loving yourself. And when you're in that space, you will attract people who will love you too. You will attract relationships with men that will love you, with friends that will love you, but just people just in general will love you because you're holding your frame, you're holding your frequency. So that's why it's so important. Like, and let's get to stereotypes, right? I kind of said stereotypes. So we talked about trauma, and now let's get to stereotypes. So how does this affect stereotypes, right? Now we got this whole stereotype, that all black men are broke. We got stereotypes that all black women, they got attitudes. We got this stereotype that what black women are stuck up. We got this stereotype that black boys don't know how to read. We got stereotypes that, if it's a black boy and he's like between the ages of 16 to 24, he's up to no good and he's going to rob you. We hold all of these stereotypes. And you know what's going to happen? Our subconscious mind is going to turn around and try to prove us right every single time. They're going to try to prove us right. So if I was you, I would let go of stereotypes. What if we held on to good stereotypes? What if we said that, right, all the black men have great jobs, they're working on themselves, they're loving themselves, they have great families, they're in the communities, they're doing really good things. Know what you would turn around and see? You will turn around and reflect that, and the world has to reflect those beliefs to you. And that's all it takes. If more people believed in the good of each other, we will see more positive outcomes, because it will push us to change and push us to do better. What they say, what Michael Jackson said, if you want to see the change, look at the man in the mirror. It starts with the man in the mirror. So yeah, that's a very true statement. So this is just a warning, clear warnings to people, right? About colorism, trauma, and stereotypes. And we should not go around like thinking that every black person is like this, every black woman is like this, every black man is like this. That is a dangerous way to live, and that's a dangerous perception to have. But yeah, this is your girl Creative Solutions. And this is what I came on here to say. I didn't want to make this a really long stream, but I really wanted to talk about the importance of colorism, the trauma behind it. And, we need to break generational curses, and we need to love each other. Love our children, love our mothers. We need to forgive our mothers. A part of me, I could have been like really mean and nasty towards my mother and talk about all the bad things she has done for me. But me doing that, I am holding my mother from a place that I seen her when I was 8, 10, 13, 17 years old. But now my mother had done so much work on herself that I could no longer hold that type of frame I have for her. I have to hold her to a higher frame and see her as a higher vibrational being, as somebody who's healed, somebody who's doing great. So I could never say bad things about my mom or anything like that, because she's working on herself. She's a work in progress. And I give her grace, and I give my grandmother grace, because they deserve it. And as I get older, I deserve that too. So I just wanted, because I've seen a lot of people say a lot of stuff they say about their parents. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I can understand if the parent wasn't there, then I would have grace for him. But that doesn't mean I have to show up for him and be there for that person who wasn't there, But I will have grace for the parent that was there, and the parent that showed up, and the parent that showed out. So yeah. Okay, this is your girl Creative Solutions. I'm just going to read the poem again, right, as my closing. And then we're just going to exit, all right? So again, this is the poem. The poem is on Being a Dark Skin, right, by Basavage A.O. I was 7 and I was told I couldn't go out to play. My skin was already too dark and my hair too kinky to contain. I tried scrubbing it off. I tried covering it up. I tried praying to God, but nothing worked. I was 10 and I was taught that I was ugly. Disgusting. The big black beast in the mirror. I knew it. They knew it. I didn't need the scrawny boys telling me I was unlovable, that I should go back to Africa. I didn't need to be assured of my complexion, that I was so black I was purple. I didn't need any more reason to hate myself, because no one could hate me more than I did. I was 14 and I knew I was pretty. For a dark-skinned girl, I hoped that my non-existent curves and my pre-pubescent breasts would distract from my dark face. I knew every light-skinned girl had to have a dark-skinned friend to make her shine a little brighter. Yet all this time, I never knew I was a casualty, collateral damage. You see, I thought it was racism, institutionalized ugly coming from all sides. The stereotypes and the jokes. I thought we were together against a common enemy. I thought we were rising up against a man. I thought we were united front, divided front, because I never knew that my own people, my own family were against me. People think being dark skinned is so bad. Like the tone of your happiness will be set with your skin color. Like your beauty is ranked by a certain amount of melanin. Like finding someone to love is impossible because you so happen to have only X skin. I'm 17 and I know that I'm beautiful. At least I think I know. I hate to remind myself of before. The jokes, the skin lightening, the depreciation, but I have to so I can remember how painful it is, how painful it was, how internalized colorism ruined my self-worth, depleted my self-esteem, and led to my self-hatred. I thought my nice skin was my one flaw, and my nappy hair and afros and my black features. My nose is round and wide. I didn't like much about myself, actually. So a few times I thought, maybe if you were a little lighter, you would be desirable. You would be beautiful. You would be happy. I was wrong. If my skin was a little lighter, I'll still be discriminated against. If my curl was a little looser, I will still be ashamed of my natural blackness. It's a double-edged sword, and I'm happy to be on the dark end. This kinky, coily, curly hair goes back generations. The zigzag patterns with twists and turns, my ancestors breaking their backs for me. This skin, my radiant melanin, what would I do without it? Cover and protection, it shines with strength and beauty. It says, I'm black, I'm proud. No, that's me saying, Black women are beautiful. Black women are enough. Black women are making strides. Ionic, proud, timeless. My skin represents years of oppression and a future of freedom. Who could cover up such a blessing? How can you pray it away? In what ways is it ugly for any girl? Dark skin, brown skin, light skin. I love my skin. That was beautiful. And to end this, right? I gotta say something for me. For all the people who made fun of me, said, really bad things when I was growing up, made me feel small, right? This is a prayer for healing by me. And every person should say this prayer for healing because it is. It's a prayer for healing. It's a prayer for relief. It's a prayer to transcend. It's a prayer to overcome, right, and blossom. So, dear universe, ancestors, spirits, angels, and unseen energies and forces dwelling, I am letting go and forgiving those that hurt me in the past. I understand that those individuals were not operated in their higher selves. Those individuals that inflicted pain, heartbreak, painful memories were acting as hurt little children that could not confide in anyone. I no longer wish to hold on to these feelings, thoughts, and triggers. It is not serving me, and I can use that energy to help foster changes in my life. I wish those people healing and a safe place to share their feelings. As I heal and let go, I regain all my energy back from past lifetimes in this lifetime. I call back all my energy from time, space, and this reality. I close all doors to past hurt, pain, and trauma. I only remember me overcoming and transcending that energy. As I heal, I choose to share space with people that can make my experience on earth heaven, and I make their experience heaven on earth. I release, I let go, I call back my energy, and I grow. I'm so thankful and grateful it is done. I say amen. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that prayer leaves you guys, whole and feeling good and letting go of things that doesn't belong to you, letting go of traumas that never belonged to you. Those traumas was from people who felt that pain and that hurt. You don't need to take on other people's problems and other people's traumas. Those problems do not belong to you, right? You are not the foundation of those traumas, and it ends with you. This is your girl, Creative Solutions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want, you can donate to the channel. You can cash at me. And yeah, this is your girl, Creative Solutions. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have a wonderful night.